Hi, I'm Graham and welcome back to Man vs Film. This is going to be a top 10 of movies that you can watch on Amazon Prime US right now. So let's get started with number 10, which is Braveheart. When his secret bride is executed for assaulting an English soldier who was trying to rape her, Sir William Wallace begins a revolt against King Edward I of England. Mel Gibson stars and directs this Oscar-winning movie about William Wallace, who was all about gaining freedom for his people from the subjugation of the English and the price that had to be paid to get that freedom. It's visually striking, it's violent, it looks gorgeous, and it has some of the best mass fight scenes that I have seen on film in the longest time. It is rousing, it is getting the blood pumping, that really just gets you going at the end. It gets you with the emotional feels as well, and it is truly an epic movie. Number 9 is 48 Hours. A hard-nosed cop reluctantly teams up with a wise-cracking criminal, temporarily paroled in order to help track down a killer. Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte play the mismatched pairing in this movie, directed by Walter Hill, which is exceedingly violent and exceedingly funny as well. Now, this was kind of a precursor to the buddy cop movies or the mismatch pairing movie where you have people who just shouldn't be together because they just aggravate each other, but they have a common goal they're going to get to. This was before Eddie Murphy was in all these family-friendly movies, and at this point he was still kind of edgy, really funny, and this is a terrific movie. Number 8 is The Hunt for Red October. In November 1984, the Soviet Union's best submarine captain and their newest submarine violates orders and heads for the USA. But is he trying to defect or start a war? This is the first Jack Ryan movie that began the whole series, and for my money, it's kind of the best. It doesn't focus on that one main character, it's spread around all these different people. It's got an amazing cast that has Sean Connery as the captain of the Russian submarine. It has all these scenes set within boardrooms of people talking about high stakes stuff that is exceedingly suspenseful, intense, and kind of high paced, which these scenes aren't usually like that, but they are in this movie. And it feels as if the world is literally at stake for this. It is a tremendous, thrilling movie. Number 7 is Killing Zoe. Zed has only just arrived in beautiful Paris and already he's up to no good. Having just slept with a call girl, he spends a night on the town with his friends when they all decide to rob a bank the next day. The only catch is the call girl happens to work in it as her day job. This is a very good heist gone wrong movie. It is bloody, it is nihilistic, it is involving these people that seem to be on a path of self-destruction. They are criminals who have done this type of thing before. On a whim they decide to do this job, and at the centre of this is Eric Stoltz's character Zed, who seems to be the kind of moral centre of the movie. Even though he's doing these horrible things, and amongst all these bad people, he's the one with a moral compass. And then you have the redemption in the fact of the call girl, played by Julie Delpy. And it is a particularly gritty, grimy movie, but it's one that seems to be kind of forgotten about, but it is worth your time if you're into this kind of thing. Number 6 is Cutthroat Island. A female pirate and her companion race against their rivals to find a hidden island that contains a fabulous treasure. A tongue-in-cheek action-adventure movie that bankrupted Carloco Pictures and has a record. It has a record in the Guinness World Book of Records as the biggest loss ever made by a movie. It cost 115 million back in the early 90s. And it made 10 million. So it had that stigma with it. With that kind of long gone, you can look at the movie and realise it's not perfect, but it is fun and it is an enjoyable action-adventure romp. Number 5 on my list is Sicario. An idealistic FBI agent is enlisted by a government task force to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the US and Mexico. Directed by one of my favourite directors of the moment, Denis Villeneuve, and starring Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro and Josh Brolin, this movie was one of my favourite of the year it came out. I think it has got some stunning cinematography. It is a really tight, thrilling, suspenseful movie. It has terrific action set pieces that all kind of differ the more they kind of evolve throughout the movie. There's nothing that is the same. There is some standout, even cameo performances with John Baranthil, and pretty much everybody on this movie is at the top of their game. The performances are terrific, the way the kind of story evolves, and then you realise that later on the movie's not about Emily Blunt's character, but rather about somebody else's character, and it has that kind of pull the rug from you moment when you suddenly realise that, and it repurposes some of the movie beforehand. I've watched this a few times. I think it's terrifically entertaining, and it's a story you can't help but getting wrapped up in. Number 4 is Nerve. A high school senior finds herself immersed in an online game of truth or dare when her every move starts to become manipulated by an anonymous community of watchers. This movie is just pure entertainment. When I first saw this at the cinema, I wasn't expecting much, but I came out of it quite happy with what I saw. It has some good action set pieces, it has got a lot of funny moments throughout it, and as the dares increase throughout the movie, they get from fun to kind of scary and terrifying as they move on later on, and you're actually worried about the characters. Now, the main pairing of Emma Roberts and Dave Franco are terrific together. They have a lot of charisma, and that's partially the reason why the movie works so well. It gets to a kind of silly finale later on, but because the rest of the movie is so much fun and so entertaining, you can forgive it. This is a movie I've watched quite a bit, and it's just one of these ones that I can just throw on and just have a great time watching. Number 3 on my list is Miss Sloane. In the high-stakes world of political power brokers, Elizabeth Sloane is the most sought-after and formidable lobbyist in DC. But when she starts to take on the most powerful opponent of her career, she finds winning may come at too high a price. Miss Sloane was criminally underseen in the cinema. It came and it went very quickly, and I think it was a shame because Jessica Chastain is absolutely fantastic as the lead character of Miss Sloane. It's a kind of fictionalised David versus Goliath story, as they have this small group of people taking on a large conglomerate that has all this power. I don't want to really spoil the movie for you. It's a terrific watch. It is a good drama thriller. It feels a little bit like a heist movie or a con movie because you feel as if there's always some kind of undercurrent of something else going on that you're not getting to see. The performances are great. The story's very interesting, and for somebody that doesn't really know much about politics or how they work, the movie kind of sets it out for you and gives you the basics as you move along. And it never really leaves you behind. So yeah, get checking this out if you missed it in the cinema. Terrific movie. Number 2 on my list is The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. A bounty hunting scammers sees 2 men who make an uneasy alliance against a third in a race to find a fortune in gold buried in a remote cemetery. Sergio Leone's final instalment of the Dollars trilogy, and it is the best of the trilogy, and to be fair, you don't really have to have seen parts 1 and 2 to really put this on and enjoy it. It is regarded as one of the best westerns, if not the best, ever made. It is a sprawling western without any wasted scene or moments, and that's even with these slow unravelling scenes that just make you drawn into this stunning image that you've seen as it starts to get tense and the pace starts to build up as these guys start to sort of play mind games with each other and keep trying to outsmart each other to get to this gold first. You're interested in all the 3 characters. They're all individuals, they're all very interesting, they're all completely different. Like I said, the look of the movie is unbelievable. It is super widescreen, it is stunning, it is all these vistas, all these close-ups of the eyes, the drawn out gunfights. It seemed to drag out forever, really building up the suspense. The end of the tale is really satisfying. Number 1 on my list is 20th Century Women. The story of a teenage boy, his mother, and 2 other women who help raise him amongst the love and freedom of Southern California in 1979. It's a coming-of-age story about 3 women that come together and decide that they really want to raise this young teenage boy and try to figure out a way between the 3 of them to raise him without a father figure in the household. It's full of amazingly fleshed out characters, and as all these women have different aspects on this boy's life, they all bring different things to it. It's very touching, it's very dramatic, it has some very nice subtext to it, but it's very funny as well. It's hilariously funny. I loved this movie. I found it almost instantly affecting. It just spoke to me in such a way that made me captivated by these characters, what they were going through, and I loved spending time with them. I think the look of the movie is amazing. It really puts you into that 70s time with the houses, the clothes, the cars, the whole style of it. There is some really very nice driving sequences that are a little bit weirdly shot, but I like that about it. I think this is a movie that not a lot of people have heard of, and I think that you have to check it out. That is why it is my #1 movie on Amazon Prime US for August 2017. So get checking it out. If you think I've missed something, let me know in the comment box, and remember to like this video if you haven't already done so, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.